Alrighty, so this is about how we are using the C70 on wedding days now. So we switched from the R6. I got tired of us having to deal with the overheating while shooting in 4K. So there was a lot of options. We looked a lot at switching to Sony for the FX3, but we were so invested into the Canon lineup with us doing photo and film. We just have a lot of lenses and cameras. And so I looked at the R5 and the R5C and the R5 Mark II, and we looked at all those, but none of those really seemed to really fit for what we were wanting. Because if we were going to upgrade, I wanted to make it well worth our time, and so we ended up landing on the C70. So I'll start off by saying the only con in this video with the C70 is the size, obviously. My wife Liv is the one who is carrying the camera on the wedding day because I'm doing photo. So she does have to deal with it. Now, I don't think it's that bad compared to her R6 rigged up with the cage and the monitor. It's obviously a big difference, but I don't think it's not been anything terrible. We just had our first full wedding day with it this past weekend, and she did perfectly fine with it. So one pro of the weight is it gets rid of a lot of those like little micro jitters that you have with like the lightweight camera. So that was really cool. So to move on to why we picked the C70, number one, built-in NDs is amazing. That like honestly totally changed everything for us. Having the built-in NDs, I mean we've only had it for one wedding so far, but I think that is just an absolute game changer. Not having to like have the VND or ND on the front, and then when we go inside, screw it off, and then go outside and screw it back on, and then we have so much gear, it's like, where's it at? Being able to just push the little buttons on the side over here and just open it up and turn it all the way down from 2 stops all the way up to 10 stops is just mind-blowing. Honestly, I didn't really know that was a thing. I'm not huge, like we haven't known a ton about cinema cameras, totally honest. So that was awesome. So that's one huge pro. Another huge pro of why we love this for weddings is the shutter angle. This is another thing I honestly didn't know about. But just leaving the shutter angle at 180 and not having to mess with the shutter speed and keeping it at the exact right amount for the frame rate. So now we never even have to mess with changing the shutter speed. We leave the shutter angle at 180 and that's all we have to do. That's it. So that's amazing. So now all we have to change is the NDs, the aperture, and the ISO. Which we try to leave the ISO at 800, the base ISO, as much as possible. Other than obviously in the dancing part of the night during the reception, that's going to get bumped up a bit. Now we use lighting for like the first dances and speeches, so we're pretty much good to go then. But as far as the like actual like party dancing with the DJ part of the night, that's going to get bumped up a bit. But I think some noise in that part of the night is okay anyways. So another huge win for us on the C70 for weddings is no overheating with 4K. That's a pretty obvious one. I don't know why that's so hard to get in Canon, but there's no overheating. There's a fan on it. The fan is pretty much, it's on auto, but it's usually running, has a little exhaust fan right here, so you can always just feel like the air coming out of it, which is pretty sweet. This thing does not overheat at all. So to talk a bit about the actual rig that we picked for this, I'm sure the things are going to change a little bit, but this is how we liked it for day one wedding. So we have the small rig, like half cage, and then the top handle that comes on it, I put some bicycle tape brown because it looks really cool, and also she didn't like the metal feel, so that was nice. So we got the half cage. I didn't think we wanted the whole cage. Just coming over here, and also I just feel like that would be a lot less comfort over here since we do handheld most of the time. We don't really do any gimbal shots. So we have another small rig handle on the side, and so a lot of times she holds it up against her chest and steadies it like that. And one thing that helps a ton is having like the BPA 60 batteries. This is an off-brand. I will link down below. Oh man, the sun came out and I just realized I'm super overexposed, so sorry about that. Okay, so the sun came out, got a little overexposed. The BPA 60 batteries, this is the off-brand of it, but they work amazing. We used one battery for the whole day, which is crazy. I mean, we shut it off in between shoots and stuff. But yeah, this came in a set of 2, and what's really nice about this is it does help counterbalance it a little bit, but also since it sticks out a lot more than the BPA 30s is flush pretty much, so it gives you a lot more to kind of like level it on your chest, like that. So one thing that was kind of annoying about this camera was that with just the standard plate, this thing, no matter how slowly you tried to sit it down, unless you like got it perfectly, it wouldn't it wouldn't stay level on the table if you sat it down, which is a small thing, but on the wedding days, you're always like picking up gear and stuff. It would just like fall over in the lens, which in the long run probably can be good, but just bashing your lens in all day. So we ended up getting, well, she used a monopod throughout the day, but we left the plate on there so it sticks out a bit. And so now no matter how you sit it down, it sits flush. That's a really small dumb thing, but that was a huge like life improvement for the wedding day that we really love. So this camera is super customizable, obviously for wedding days. That's nice, but we don't use a ton of all the buttons. To be totally honest, a lot of the tech specs, button layouts, and all the codecs and stuff we decided to use, we learned from Sounded Out Films. Eric Walker, I believe is his name. We actually bought his course. It was like 70 bucks and taught us everything we need to know about the C70. So that was a great like catch us up. Moving from the R6 to this, there was a lot of like new camera settings. So it's pretty cool. His course is amazing if you want to learn all the techs about it. I just really wanted to talk today in today's video about why we use the C70 and what we love about it. As far as the lens goes, right now we're using the 15 to 35 since there's a crop, so it equals closer to like a 24 to 50 or something like that. You can correct my math, I'm sure I'm wrong, but it's somewhere around there. She used this pretty much most of the day. We have a 51.4 that she used to use on the R6. It's the Sigma like Art Series one. And I think we're gonna get the adapter that makes it actually get rid of that crop for this. So that way she can have that 51.4 still for low light. I thought we would not need the adapter and just use the crop, but really we don't shoot at like 85 a lot on video, which is what the 50 equals, or around there. So probably gonna end up getting the adapter. That's probably the one thing that we see that we're gonna add. And then the last thing that's nice is, so like obviously we'll run with a little mic up here throughout the wedding day, but I love this does record 4 tracks of audio. So you can set up 2 for your mic up here and then 2 for the internal mic, which is how we did. So like we set backup of everything, which is so nice, because we've had times in the R6 where we'll plug in the mic but not turn it on, and then you just have no audio, which is not a good thing. So yeah, that's really nice to have backup audio of everything. Lastly, one of my favorite things is having this button up here set up for your frame rate. So then when you change from 24 to 60 to slow something down, you don't have to change your shutter speed at all because of your shutter angle. So you can just hit this button, or the 10 button right here, and then boom, you can switch into 60. You don't have to change your settings all around, which is amazing. It's such a fast workflow having that. So yeah, that's why we love the C70 for weddings so far. Honestly, I think it's gonna work with us for a long time. It's really nice having some of the cinema settings. But yeah, ask me any questions about why you should use the C70 or why you shouldn't. Happy to discuss it. It's not the perfect camera for everyone, but it's the perfect camera for us right now.